Hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday. This is Dr. Stephanie, your double board certified critical care physician who works with physicians that are struggling with their jobs, burnt out with their careers, or who just want some career advice. Through my books, webinars, coaching, and speaking, I help physicians discover alternative jobs and careers in medicine so that they can practice medicine on their own terms. And welcome to this Tuesday's edition of Let's Talk Tuesday, which is sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. I'm so happy to be here. It's right at 7:01, so I'm going to wait a couple of more seconds to let's see if some people are going to join us on this live. Hey, Tamisha, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Are going to join us on this live broadcast this evening. I hope your week is going very well. And I hope everybody's doing okay. So I do have a favor to ask of you guys. When you join the broadcast live, let me know that you're here. If you're watching this on replay, type replay. If you like a comment, hit the like button. If you love it, the love button. If you know somebody that can benefit, please tag them. Please feel free to share. But like I said, I'm Dr. Stephanie. You guys know who I am. I'm a locums guru. I love locums. I just wanted to take an opportunity to talk to you all tonight. This episode of Let's Talk Tuesday is sponsored by Floyd Lee Locums. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is managing expectations. 3 tools for success and satisfaction as a locums doctor. So why do I talk about this? It's very important because a lot of times when physicians make a transition from being a permanent physician to being a locums physician, they have a lot of expectations. A lot of times they're coming from a bad job situation. A lot of times physicians are burnt out, they're stressed out, and they want to change. And they're leaving a situation, going to another situation, not knowing what to expect or having lofty expectations. But then when the expectations don't meet reality, you end up with disappointment. So we're going to talk about how you can manage your expectations as a locums doctor, 3 tools to keep in mind, and these tools will hopefully help you to experience satisfaction and success as a locums doctor. Now, we all know that an expectation is a strong belief that something will happen or something is supposed to happen in the future. And, and whenever there is a disconnect between reality and the expectation, there is a sense of disappointment. I know we physicians experience this a lot when we're dealing with patients and patients' families, and sometimes patients' families think things are supposed to be one way. They have these expectations, and then things are another way. They have the reality, and then you have dissatisfied patients, dissatisfied families, and a lot of times that can either be avoided or mitigated just by managing expectations. Well, the same holds true when dealing with locums and locums doctors, because like I said, when the reality of doing locums work doesn't meet our expectations, then a lot of times, a lot of doctors get disappointed. They get jaded, they get a little bitter, and they get burned out. And I want to reach you before you get to that point. I want to help, let you know what it's kind of really like so that you can really kind of adjust your expectations accordingly so that you can have a satisfactory experience. So here are 3 tips for managing your expectations. And like I said, we want to do this in order to make sure that you have a satisfactory and successful locums experience. Now, the first thing that you need to do, and I had to do this with myself, was to be realistic, okay? Let's just be honest. There is a reason why you are doing locums. I'm just going to talk about me. I'm just going to, talk about me. There's a reason why I do locums. I tell people all the time that I'm unemployable. I am not a person who does well with permanent employment. And that's because I like my freedom, I like my flexibility, I like to be able to do other things, to make my own schedules, to have my own control. So I don't do well with permanent employment. And as a result of that, I know that I need to do locums. And then also, the locums market for my area of expertise is kind of dried up locally, because I've moonlit and I've done locums in so many facilities around here that they already know me. So when a locums recruiter calls me with, an assignment in a Houston facility, I've already worked there. Chances are they already know me, so that's not going to go anywhere. So I'm saying this, all that's to say, I'm realistic about my characteristics. I'm realistic about my reasons for doing locums. I'm realistic about the job opportunities where I live. So that's why I'm about to get on a plane and go back out of town for 2 weeks, because I know me. So therefore, let's be honest, with yourself. There is a reason why you are doing locums. There is a reason why you are interested in doing locums, whether it is because you just lost a job, whether it's because you left a job, whether it's because you want to do something while you pursue other opportunities, whether it's because you're burnt out or stressed out, or whether or not you just want to, try to, work as an independent contractor because you don't want, the restrictions involved with being a permanent employee. Maybe the job opportunities in your local market are not that great, or maybe you need the money. Maybe you just need extra money. I know one year, about 5 years ago, when I first moved to Houston and I was waiting on my Texas license and I was in between jobs because I didn't have a Texas license, I needed to do locums. But the critical care locums market was really slow that summer. So guess what I did? I took a locums job as a hospitalist, because a couple of months prior, I'm like, oh, I'm an intensivist. I don't want to work as a hospitalist. But the bills kept coming in and the funds kept getting low. And I was like, you know what? I need to get back on this road because I have bills to pay. So I took an assignment as a hospitalist, and guess what? It worked out quite well. So therefore, I was realistic. I needed a locums gig. I needed something kind of quick. So I took some as a hospitalist and I enjoyed it, and things worked out very well. So when you are realistic about your reason for doing locums, you're going to be less likely to pass up a good assignment thinking you're going to get the perfect assignment. Okay? Let me repeat this. Don't pass up a good locums assignment waiting for the perfect locums assignment to come. So when you're realistic about what your reasons for doing locums are, what you need to accomplish for doing locums, it's going to help you adjust your expectations. If you just need to do something for the next 3 to 6 months because you're in between jobs, okay, you'll take a locums assignment that's a good locums assignment, work it, get your money, and move on with your life. So like I said, just be realistic about your reasons for doing locums, and don't let unrealistic expectations let you pass up a good locums assignment in search of the perfect locums assignment. Let's see here. Now, for those of you who are just joining me, please feel free to, comment on some things. If there's some questions you have, some comments you've had, some experiences that you've had, I'd love to hear about them. Okay, so like I said, 3 tips to managing your expectations, because managing expectations, this is going to be the tools that you need to take in order to make sure you have success and satisfaction as a locums doctor. So we talked about the first thing you need to do is just to be realistic with yourself about your reason for doing locums. And don't let unrealistic expectations cause you to pass up a good assignment while you're waiting on the perfect assignment, because we all know there is no perfect assignment. The next thing is you need to understand the reason. The best piece of advice that I ever got was from a locums recruiter. And I remember it so clearly. I had just started an assignment and I was like, these people are so unorganized, and this place is this, and this is horrible. And he said, Dr. Freeman, if they had everything together, they wouldn't need you. There's a reason you're there. And I thought about it. And that piece of advice has kept me sane throughout, my 10 years of doing locums. That piece of advice has really helped me lower my stress levels because it's the truth. See, as a locums doctor, you're a placeholder. And I've come to realize over the course of several years that if a facility is using a locums doctor, they're utilizing you out of sense of urgency or emergency. Maybe a doctor has quit. Maybe two doctors have quit unexpectedly. Maybe a doctor has passed away. Maybe a doctor is sick. Maybe somebody's out on maternity leave. Maybe this is a new program, a new surgical program, a new hospitalist program, a new intensivist program. And the people running the program have to have it up and running by X date or they're in breach of contract. Well, it takes 3 to 6 months or even a year to hire permanent employees. They can bring a locum stock in with maybe 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 months process. So whatever the issue is, most facilities are using locums out of a sense of urgency. So this means that it is a transition period for the locums company, for not the locums company, but the client. So the client is in a sense of a state of emergency or a state of urgency, and they're in a transition period. So as long as you recognize that on the client side, that they're bringing you in for a specific reason, and they may be scrambling because of whatever has happened, so that the need for your services has arisen. As long as you recognize that, you're not going to get as stressed because it's not personal. This is a situation in which they're sometimes just really trying to do the best they can to to meet an unexpected demand. So realize that things initially may not go as planned. You may have some glitches with, getting started, and sometimes that's par for the course, but just try to, take it all in stride so that so that you don't stress out unnecessarily because of this. And the next thing we need to realize, so we talked about you need to be realistic about your reason for doing locums. You need to understand that there's a reason why the client needs your services. And then I keep coming back to this all day, every day. Know your role as a locums doctor. When you know your role as a locums doctor, when you find your lane and you stay in your lane as a locums doctor, that is going to mitigate your stress levels. You will lower your expectations, and you'll do your job and have a satisfactory, hopefully, experience. Locum tenens means placeholder. That's what it means literally. It's a placeholder. So that's what you are. You are a placeholder. I did some moonlighting / locums at a hospital in Pennsylvania many years ago. And when I was interviewing for the job, one of the doctors just told me, he just looked at me and he said, you know what? We just need a warm body to fill the shift. Now, some people might have found that offensive, but I was like, cool. I know what my role is. There are X dates open. They need somebody to work because one of the doctors quit. Warm body to fill the shift. That's what they needed. That's what their expectation was. And that's the role that I filled. And guess what? Everything worked out just fine. You are a placeholder. So that means this. You are not there to change the world. You're not there to revolutionize the way the client practices medicine. You're not there to point out their shortcomings. Trust and believe. They know they have issues. They know they have problems. They are very well aware of what their problems are. And like I said, if they had everything together, they wouldn't need you. So your role is not to just be this traveling doctor that rolls up in there and is like, I'm this and I'm that, and where I'm from, we do it this way. Where I'm from, I'm doing it that way. That's the quickest way to be either asked to leave or not invited back. And remember, if you're doing locums like I do because you need a job and you need some money, that's not an attitude that you want to bring into the place. So you as a locums doctor are there for one reason and one reason only. That is to practice medicine and to see patients. And your job is to provide the standard of care within the environment of the facility, within the environment of the client, because you're not going to change that. But you can control the care that you give to the patient. So once you realize that, to me, that's kind of that's kind of freeing, because I don't have to be vested in everything that goes on in that facility. I'm not a permanent employee. I'm temporary. I'm a placeholder. I'm a warm body to fill the shift and to do the job. So I don't have to get involved in the politics. I don't have to be upset about how things are run, because guess what? If I don't like it, I don't have to go back. So once you realize that you are a placeholder, it is not your job to fix what is broken at the facility with the client. You can adjust your expectations and you can act accordingly. You are there temporarily. You're there to see the patients, and that's all you're there for. And if you're not able to do it, you don't have to come back. So that's the key. So, taking these three things, like I said, I've been doing locums for over 10 years, and I've just learned how to, manage my expectations. There's only a few things I expect. I expect to be treated with respect. I expect to do the job that they tell me to do. And then I expect to be paid on time. Bottom line. So, just to recap, managing your expectations, be realistic about your reason for doing locums. So make sure that you don't pass up a good locums opportunity while you're waiting for the perfect locums opportunity, because the perfect locums opportunity does not exist. Understand the reason. There is a reason why the client needs your services. And usually it's an emergent, urgent type thing. So know that there may be some glitches in the process because they're trying to, fill a permanent staffing need with the temporary, physician. So know that there might be some glitches in the process and just be cognizant of that. And then also know your role. Know your role as a locums doctor so that you don't have unrealistic expectations about what you're going to do when you go to work there. Now, the other thing that can really help, and this is what is so important about a good locums company and an excellent recruiter. A locums company and a recruiter is really going to be what makes or breaks your locums experience, because a good locums company and a good recruiter is going to walk you through the process. But even before they kind of go down that road with you, they're going to take some time to talk with you about, or they should do this, take some time to talk to you and get to know you as a person and as a physician, so that they can kind of help you realize why you're doing locums, so they can help manage some expectations on the front end. So they have you that they would like to place. They have some clients that need physicians. The job of a good locums company is to bring the two together. And one of the things that they could do is to help you manage your expectations so that you know what to expect. So that they guide you through the process. And most importantly, that they are transparent with you about what's going on with the client. And that's one of the conversations that I like to have with my recruiter. When they call me, I'm like, okay, really what's going on? And they should be able to tell you, oh, they need you because, they had a doctor quit, or they're bringing you in because somebody's on maternity leave, or they're bringing you in because this is a new program and they just need to get some locums doctors in until they can get some permanent doctors in. So, a good locums company and a good recruiter can be transparent about the process so that you know what to expect. And like I said, the role of a good recruiter and a good locums company is to make sure it's a good fit. So they want to, make sure your expectations and the client's expectations match. So, utilizing these three things, being realistic with yourself, understanding your role, and understanding the reason why you're there, and working with a good locums company, it's going to help make sure that you have a successful and satisfactory locums experience. Now, the experts at Floyd Lee Locums do such a good job at doing this because they have built their whole company around the concept of a concierge locums practice, meaning that they pay exquisite detail to the needs of the physician from start to finish. So to make sure that you understand what to expect, you understand what the client expects, so you can make sure that this is a good fit. So I would highly recommend that you all contact Floyd Lee Locums at www.floydleelocums.com. The little scroll is wrong. It shouldn't be www. It's www.floydleelocums.com in order for more information about the locums process and how to get started. Now, for those of you physicians who are not members of my Facebook group, Creating Careers in Medicine, I highly recommend that you join my Facebook group, Creating Careers in Medicine, because every single Wednesday we post the new and hot jobs posted by Floyd Lee Locum. So we've got some good opportunities available. And even if you don't see an opportunity available, please give them a call because they can find something for you. So once again, www.floydleelocums.com. This is Dr. Stephanie. Thank you for joining me, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.